3, 2, 1, go.
You're listening to The Kyle Chambers Show.
And welcome to The Kyle Chambers Show. My name is Kyle Chambers, and today I have Steve Boyle. Steve is the co-owner of Meat Kandy, and it is a meat food truck based in London, but they travel all over Ontario. Thanks so much for joining the show today. What inspired you to start the Meat Kandy food truck along with your wife?
So it's probably a little bit of a sad story, actually. I was diagnosed with cancer, man, 4 years ago, a stage 4, and literally got told that I shouldn't be alive. And I had the fear of God put into me that if I kept doing the job that I was doing at the time, I was working in the construction world, and my job was basically sales and marketing, taking $1 million companies and helping them become $20 million companies. And there's no way that my wife would have been able to do that job. So I had the fear of God that if I didn't switch careers, if I don't wake up, my wife loses the house, the car, everything, and the kids get affected. So I needed to get into something that I knew was repeatable to the family. And I've been cooking and barbecuing for 30 plus years, and everybody keeps telling me you need to open a restaurant. And I was like, I don't want to be waiting for people to come to me. I want to go where they are. And the food truck was the right idea.
That's good. It's interesting how everybody finds their careers and finds how they like to do things. And it's good that you've kind of found your way now. What are some of the more popular food items that you serve at events?
So my number one seller by a mile is my smash burger. We've won best burger in London 2 years in a row, and then we had a People's Choice this year. Beyond that, though, the truck was created to be a barbecue pit, and so I've been barbecuing and smoking meats for an extremely long time. So we do things like brisket, and we have our pulled pork, and we have pork belly, and so Meat Kandy is actually pork belly bites, which is big old cubes of bacon that we smoke for hours and hours and hours. So I try to tell everybody I'm all about good local sources of meat and then carnival style side dishes to go with it.
That's good. I've seen you had several desserts along with the meat that you offer, your bacon wrapped things and burgers as well. So it's great you have something for everybody to enjoy.
Legitimately, there's I can handle every dietary need, every dietary restriction. All my sauces and rubs are gluten free. I have a sister-in-law who's celiac, and she can eat on the truck 5 days a week. So I really do take into account of making sure everybody can experience a good meal with us.
How do you change your food based on the event from, say, a wedding to a birthday party?
Yeah, no worries. So when a customer calls in or reaches out to us, one of the first things we do is try and come up with a menu with them. So the website meatkandy.ca, meatkandy with a K.ca, actually shows my basic menu. This is kind of my day-to-day travel around with the truck menu. However, with people, when they book me for an event, we sit down and build a menu together. So I let them know what I'm capable of. There's really not a piece of meat that I can't cook, right? And so what we try to do is come up with one beef, one pork, one chicken option, and then something extremely fun, carnival-style fun. And they pick their menu, and we go budget-wise anywhere from $20 a head to $35 a head, and $35 a head, we're at the brisket and ribs mark, and $20 a head, we're at the pulled pork and smash burgers mark. So those numbers, if you ever called a caterer, are half price of what typical catering companies require for a good meal. So
that's really good. It's good that you offer those things to your customers so they can have the best experience possible.
Absolutely. And I think that people ask you, like, how can you afford to do that? And my dollar is twice as strong on a farm as it is at Costco. So if I have 112 farmers that I can lean on for animals, and I run everything through the Mount Bridges abattoir, I can control the quality of the meat from the time that it's born until it really does hit your plate. And so there's a big difference. And face it, your dollar is twice as strong on a farm as it is at a store. So if I'm paying less than $4 a pound for ground beef and the grocery store wants $7, something wrong with that, right? So just eliminate all the middlemen, get rid of the buildings, and shop at the farms.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that you have that support, because if you were shopping at a higher end grocery store, it would be more expensive, and it'd just be harder to get all the product you need to be able to produce what you need to be able to run your business.
100%. It's super important to me to try and keep a good meal under $20 a head. So
what do you see for the future of Meat Kandy?
Huge growth. So I had my 5-year plan basically happen in so I'm in my 3rd season right now. By the end of last year, my 5-year plan was already achieved. So the challenge that I had is I didn't think about the next 5-year plan. So what we're doing right now is it's looking like Meat Kandy is about to double its business. And next year in the spring, we're going to be launching a permanent barbecue location out near Port Stanley. And so the food truck will still be doing its thing, but then we're going to have a full-time pit master location you can come out to and come and check out my barbecue gauntlet, if you will.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining the show today.
Man, you're more than welcome anytime, Kyle.